Okay, so last night I made the terrible mistake of turning off my mic, and my entire session was not recorded. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through what I went through last night and give you the highlights so that at least you have that. I also would like to point out, and let me go in and show you. I'm going to back out for 1 second, and I'm going to take you into live sessions, and I'm going to take you down to week three. So here is your multi-session recording. Now I'm going to scroll down a little further, and I'll show you the live session missing the audio. This is the recording that I did last night with the mic off. So I got 2 hours of me demonstrating with no audio. You can't really do much with this, but there's two things. Number one, I did produce these 3 videos right here. Producing page 2 of the newsletter, creating a drop cap InDesign, and building the menu cover for assessment week 3. All 3 of those videos really cover exactly what I went over last night. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to literally go in and do the highlights of all the things that we looked at last night. So just to give you an idea, I'm trying to make up for what I did, and hopefully this will do it. You do have everything you need here, plus what I'm going to record tonight should give you the same basic or redundant version of what you got there. So you should have what you need by the time we're done anyway. Again, don't go to the live session recording audio. It's just not worth it. There's no sound on it. I just put it in there to show that I actually was in and recorded last night. My fault. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's get back to where we were. And I'm going to come into, let me go into discussion. Okay, and I started out last night by talking about this discussion. I have a feeling that people are going to probably be a little confused over this. So what is going to happen with this discussion essentially is you guys are going to create a very poor layout, a bad layout, a crappy layout. I don't know how many different ways I can say it, but you're going to take something and lay it out in the worst possible way that you can. Again, page layout consists of making good visual connections between the 3 types of objects: text, graphics, and images. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a very bad example. You could talk about it if you want, but you who created it do not talk about how you would fix it. You could talk about what you did if you want. That's fine. But the bottom line is we're looking for every person to do a very poor quality example of a layout. Then you're going to post it. And I would really like to see everybody literally post it live. If you can't do this, if you don't know how to do this, you go to someone in Blackboard, they'll show you how to do it. Or you come in and see me tomorrow night in Blackboard, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay? So you're going to make an incorrect initial post. And then what you're going to do for the second part of this is you're going to go in and you're going to look at least 2 of your fellow students' postings, and you will give them some sort of an idea of how you might improve on their poor posting. Very important that you do step 1 and step 2. And please, let me move down a little bit. You must submit the main post of at least 150 words with citation and reference. In this particular case, though, I don't really think you need citation and references. And I'll be honest with you, since you're creating a piece of art, I'm going to forego making it 150. You can make it whatever you need to make it to express whatever you want to express about your bad posting. The key element in this particular week's discussion is your element that you're going to create, the layout that you're going to create. And I would recommend that you create that poor quality layout in Adobe InDesign. If you look down here on mine, let me scroll this thing down a little bit. I got everything in the way here. Let me get this out of the way. There we go. Oh, geez, not what I want at all. Okay, this is mine. Okay, and what I actually did was I actually gave a bad layout and a good layout, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're only supposed to do a bad layout. But since I'm the instructor, I wanted to give you an idea of what I would consider to be a proper layout for this and a bad layout. I, by the way, use the format for the ad, which I think is probably a good format for this. So you might want to just use the size of the ad for this. Again, it doesn't say you have to. I'm telling you what I think might be a good idea. Okay? So really that's it. I did this, and actually I wrote some information along with this. My information basically, well, you can read it if you want. I'm not going to get into it. But the bottom line is you could write a small bit of copy about your bad layout, but the bottom line is you want a bad layout. That, in my opinion, is a bad layout. Just the way it's the elements are being used. And again, I'm using a headline element, I'm using body copy element, and I'm using an image element. I decided to just put a color block in there for the image, and that would be fine with me. If you want to put an image in, you don't actually have to put an image in. You could use a color block to represent that image. If you want to use an image, great, use an image. Totally up to you. I'm more interested in looking at a poorly designed layout. That's what I'm really looking for. Okay? So really that's it. I'm not going to go into any more on this. If you have any questions, you know, you can send me an email and I'll discuss it with you. Okay? So let me get out of here and open up InDesign. Now, again, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do this one more time. There is a video that I did that shows how I do this. So you already have a video. This is just, I'm doing it because I feel bad that I messed up last night, the recorded session for last night. And I'm here tonight, and if somebody comes in, I'll pause for a moment and I'll deal with whoever comes in. But in the meantime, while I'm here waiting for somebody to come in, I'm going to actually do this one more time just to make myself feel better. Because again, as I say, I already got a video in there for you to look at that shows you exactly how to do this. So you should be fine. In the second part, I'm going to show you how to develop a cover for Gino's Pizzeria. This will be your assessment. So these are the two things that I did in the video last night with no audio, and this is what I'm going to do tonight so that you kind of get a sense of how to do it. But I also have these videos prepared for you already. So one way or the other, you guys are covered. And by the way, much of what you're doing here is just an extension of what you were doing last week in InDesign. Go back to your pages here, and you'll see that there is the piece that you did last week. And here's the page 3. This is the page that you did last week. There are the ads that you did. So all these things are basically just an extension of what you worked on last week. We're taking this to the next logical step, which is we're going to create pages 2 and pages 4 of our 4-page newsletter. Like I did last week, I created the cover for you, and I let you do the back page by yourself. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to do page 3 for you and leave page 4 for you. That's exactly what I did last week. All right, so what I'm going to do is go to my layers panel, and let me see, file open. Let's see if I open weekend. Week 3 start. No, that's what I want. All right, so I'm going to save this file, save as, and I'm going to call this Sweeney Week 3 new, N-E-W, and hit save. Okay, so the reason I'm doing this is, as new, I can now come in here and I can erase or delete all this, and now I'm ready to go. I got my trace. There's my trace. Okay, so I'm going to go File, Open, and I'm going to come in here to Start and hit Open. So now I'm showing you the one that I did. This is the one that I did. This is the one that I'm going to work on. Okay, so the trace layer is locked, and I'm going to begin. Let's go to the View menu and go to Screen Mode Normal. Okay, so there is everything I need to do this. I got my guides back out here, my columns. I got a 3-column format set up. I'm all ready to go, okay? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set up tight for the top, my headline. So I'll come in here and I'll drag across the top, give myself a nice big frame. There's my blinking cursor. I'm going to center align the copy up there. And one more thing I want to do is I'm going to open up Microsoft Word, and I'm going to go File, Open, and I'm going to go into my week 3. Nope, I want to go to the desktop. Week 3, DES 105, week 3, and I'm looking for my assignment. And copy page 3, hit open. So, okay, so here's what I did. This wasn't supplied. I did this myself. And the reason I did this was to just make it a little easier for me when I actually go in to create this or recreate this for you. You can do the same thing, but since you're working on it on your own, you might just want to type these elements in. But for me, it's just easier to do it this way. I'm going to select that whole bit of copy there. And I'm on a PC, so I can go right-click, copy, and I've copied that. And then I'm going to come in here, make sure that I got my little cursor going, and I'm going to go Control-V, and I'm going to paste that in there. Okay? So now what I want to do is I want to format this text. Right now I have this set to be Myriad Pro. And I believe what I really want here, and I'm almost certain of it, you can tell by looking at the characters, is I want Myriad Pro bold condensed. There it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by selecting the first line of copy alone, and I'm going to start bringing the size of that copy up until I think it matches the size of the text that's on there. And I think 33, let's see, 34 might be good. That's about what it is, I think, 34. Let's see if that's right. Yeah, 34 is, I think, pretty good. But you know what? Actually, I don't know whether that's condensed at all. I think this might be just bold, demi-bold, semi-bold. Yeah, I think that's it, semi-bold. So I've set that to semi-bold. Let's deselect it and let's see how close we are. We're very close. Okay, so again, I'm going to select it, and it's 34-point Myriad Pro semi-bold. That is your main headline. Now, your secondary headline, your sub-headline, this is your primary headline, your primary sub-headline. This I'm going to select, and I'm going to start bringing this up in size, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, I think 26. That might be too big. Let's bring it to 25. Okay, now I'm going to deselect that, and it looks like it might be the right size. However, the leading or line height is not correct. So I'm going to select the copy here, select the copy, and I'm going to come over to my line height, and I'm going to start moving that line height down until the letters sit, and it looks like actually, it looks like it, yeah, I still got to come down just a tiny bit, 26, 20, 16, 17. I think 17 is good, but I actually think 26 is a point size that I want. That looks pretty good. All right, so there you have my headline and my subheadline. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to look at the character panel, and you'll see that I actually have, and I'm going to select this, and I actually have a character style, which is subhead. And if I click that, you can see that it actually changed it slightly. So let's take a look at what my subhead really is. Okay, so the basic character formatting, it's Myriad Pro, bold condensed, 27 point. So that is the actual style or the size and the formatting for my subhead, which is called, with my character style, which is called subhead. So why I'm pointing this out is because this is going to come back later when I put that line in. I'm going to use that subhead. All right, so it's really important for you to understand that we're doing these things to save ourselves a little bit of trouble. And the subhead is the same subhead that we were using over here, okay? All right, so that's that. Really simple. That area is done. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to make myself a frame, drag a frame over here, and I'm going to go File, Place. I could move this up just a touch, get it where I want it. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go File, Place, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to go to week 3 and I'm going to go into my assignment and I'm looking for airport Wi-Fi. That's the image that's going in there. Hit open. There's my airport Wi-Fi image. So a little bit on the big side or a little bit on the small side. So I think what I'm going to do is I select this image by clicking in that little targeting device in the middle and it'll select the photo that's in the frame. And I can come over here and click on this, hold the Shift key and the Alt key down, and I can sort of drag that picture down, and now I've got the picture that it fits as best as you're going to get it to fit inside of that frame. And that element's done. So if I want, I come over to my Layers panel, I can hide my tracing layer, and you can begin to see where we're going with this, okay? So continuing along, what do I got to do? I got to create 3 columns of text here, 3 columns of text here. So let's do this one group at a time. So I'm going to start off by coming over here, and I probably should bring some guides out. So let me bring a guide out and place a guide right about there. And let me drag a guide out and place a guide right about there. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use my type tool, and I'm going to click to create a frame down to my guide that fits in the column. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to go to that guide. I'm going to click carefully. I got to get on it. There we go. Click and drag a frame out until it reaches the bottom guide down here. There we go. And do the same thing over here until I have 3 frames. I have 3 frames. Okay, so there's my 3rd frame. There's my 2nd frame. There's my 1st frame. That's what I need to fill this whole area with text. So if you remember what we talked about before, when you have these frames like this, you have an in port and you have an out port. So in order to link these columns together, what you do is you first use your regular selection tool and you come and you click on the out port. Now, when I did that, look what happened to my mouse. It changed. The cursor changed. It's an open cursor and it has lines. As soon as I come over top of my 2nd frame, I get that link icon and I click, and now I show that line, which indicates that this has been linked. I also don't know why this happened, but my frame zipped all the way down to the bottom. I can just easily drag that back up, no problem. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here and I'll link this frame. So I click on it right here, and again, I bring it up and click, and now I've linked that frame. So what I now have is I have 3 frames that are linked together, and we don't have any real copy for this, but what we do have is the ability to fill this. I'm going to get my type tool, and I'm going to click in the 1st frame, and I have the ability to go into the, what do we want to do here? Yeah, we're good. Go into the type menu and come down and fill with placeholder text. And now I have this fill with placeholder text. It's all filled with placeholder text. I believe I have a paragraph style, and I have main paragraph here. So if I select this copy, Control A, and I click on main paragraph, I get my main paragraph copy. That is what my my paragraph looks like. My paragraphs look like. Okay. I've already set this style up, main paragraph. For some reason, it looks, yeah, that's it. That's the right one. Let me double click on that, and you'll see that the main paragraph it's 12 over 11, and it's Myriad Pro regular, and it's got a tracking of 10. And you know something? I don't think I want it to be 10 over 11. I want it to be 10 over 12 or 10 over 13. So I hit OK, and now I have this. There's my that to me looks a little bit better. All right. So there's another thing. I have a main paragraph intro. I'm going to use this in several places, the first place being here. So I'm going to click on this copy and click on main paragraph intro, body snook. You know what? Drop cap. That's it. It's that one. I'm sorry. Drop cap. Oh, and by the way, I've modified this, so I need to modify the drop cap. So I click on that to open it up. I go into basic character formatting. 12 over 14 is what I've changed it to, and I hit OK. Okay, so now let's look at what I got. This is what I got. Go to the View menu and go Screen Mode, Preview. And let's go over and hide the background layer, tracing layer. And this is what I end up with. I end up with my first paragraph having a drop cap, because that's what my style. I got two paragraph styles that I'm using here. Main paragraph is what I get all this with, and then the drop cap is the paragraph style that includes that character right there. Okay. And really how you do this is you basically, let's go to drop cap. And what I did essentially was basic character formatting, Myriad Pro regular 12 point over 14 point, and then advanced character formatting. Let's see, indents and spacing, paragraph, where is it? Bullets, numbering, where was it? Paragraphs, shading, keeps, hyphenation, justification, span, column, indent and spacing. There we go. Space before, I took that away. I thought, let's see here. Where is it? Paragraph, shading, keep options, justification, drop caps, and nested styles. There we go. Okay, so in this style, remember it's drop cap. That's the style. What I did was I came in under drop caps and nested styles, and I created a 3-line drop cap, 1 character. Okay? And that's really all I did. Now, I didn't even do it this way. I'm showing you what how the styles work in drop cap. I did it using the paragraph panel, but I'm just trying to give you an idea how I did that. So I hit OK just so that you could see that. All right, so let's bring back our tracing element, and let's hide our layout for a second, because now what I got to do is I have to create some subheads in here. Okay, I got to create this line and this line and this line and that line. So, okay, let's bring the layout back. And what I already have is this one here. I'm already in good shape with this one. So all I need to do with this one is to click and place my cursor at the end of this line and hit enter. And I don't want this. I want this to be regular. Let's go back to my paragraph styles and make that main paragraph. That's what I want. Main. Yeah, I don't want that. Hold on. I got to fix this now. Indents and spacing. First line indent. I don't want it. There we go. I got it. Okay, got it. Hit OK. All right, so I fixed that. All right, so now that's what I want. The reason I'm doing this is I need that line in here. I need an extra line in here that I'm going to put my subhead in. Okay? So now what I got to do is I got to come over here, and I guess right about here is a good place to do it. All right, so I'm going to start by backing this. I think that's already done, but let me back it up and hit enter and hit enter again. There we go. There's a second place for my subhead. Let's see where the other one goes. The third one is down towards the bottom. Okay, so let me go to about, where did I do it? Right about here is good. Right there. And I'm going to hit enter, enter. And there's that one. And now I think the other one, I could use it right here. It's right there. I could use it. Let's go period and enter. Okay, so there I have my spaces for my subheads. My subheads will be hacking airport Wi-Fi, grabbing personal data, is it safe, and protect yourself. Okay, now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to open up my copy page, and you'll see hacking airport Wi-Fi, grabbing personal data, is it safe? One's missing. I'll have to write it in. So hacking airport Wi-Fi, I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to click and place it, Control V and Control Z. I don't want that. I want this to be my character style, which is my internal subhead, Control V. There we go. Let me select this guy, and let's go. Oh, man. What happened? That's not right. Why is that doing that? Oh, man. Let's go back to none. Okay, let's go. Wow. Delete. Let's come down to here. Control V. All right, let me get this thing straightened out here. All right, let's go to paragraph. Paragraph, and let's remove the 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. So I had to remove that thing. Okay, I wonder if this is going to happen on all of them. I don't think it's going to. I think it'll just happen on that one. We'll see now. All right, so I'll go grabbing personal data. I think that's the next one. Copy. And Control V. That's it. There you go. And then the third one, I don't remember. This might be the one that's missing. Let's see. Third one is, no, is it safe and protect yourself? Okay, so this one I believe is there. I'm going to come up here, copy, and it's going to be, is it safe? There we go. And copy. Control V. And then protect yourself goes here. And go to protect yourself, select it, copy, and Control V, paste. All right, so now let's hide this for 1 second, and let's see what we got. We have that, which looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to format this. So I think what I'm going to do with this, first of all, is I'm going to go Myriad Pro bold condensed for this, and I believe it was 14 point. I think that's what I used, 14 point. Let me go back in and let's take a look and see. It's in a different position. It looks like it's about right. I'm going to try maybe one more. I'll try maybe 16. No, I think I'm going to go 14 because this one here is going to run into a problem. Okay, so now I got this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over and create a character style for this. And I'm going to call this one, new character style, call it body, B-O-D-Y, underscore S-U-B, body sub, which essentially is my way of saying body subhead. And you'll see all it is setting it to 14 point, and I'm not getting my, let's see here, my basic character formats, bold condensed, yeah, Myriad Pro. There we go. There we go. So it's going to be Myriad Pro bold condensed, and anything else? Character color. That's it. That's it. Hit OK, and that should do it. All right. So now if I select this next one, over here and grab this, and if I apply my character style body sub, there it puts it on, and I'll apply it to this body sub, puts it on, whoops, and finally over here, body sub, and it applies that. And now I have basically, go back to my layers and hide the trace layer, and there you go. So that whole area is done. Now there's one thing that's going on down here that we have to deal with, and that is right here I have some bulleted points, all right? And I'm going to knock off a line or two here. I think I need to knock off a line or two. Okay, that probably will work. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to select this text here. And I'm going to come up to my object menu. And I'm going to come down to, type. I'm going to come down to, let me see, where was it? Bulleted numbers and lists. And apply bullets. And as you can see, I've applied bullets. But they've applied very poorly, all right? So it's type, bullets, and numbered lists, and I've applied bullets. All right, so what I need to do now is I need to open up my tab. I need to open up my tab ruler. The reason I'm opening my tab ruler is because I have bullets here, and I have my tab stop. And what I need to do is I need to make a few adjustments to make this look a little bit better. First thing I want to do is I want to move the bullets in slightly. So by clicking on this guy right here at the top, I can move the bullets in to wherever I want. And that's probably about where I want. And now what I can do is I can take this guy and I can move this over. Let's move it over. Actually, I should have done this first. Move this over to about here. And then let's adjust the actual bullet itself. I'll take the bullet. Oops, I got the wrong thing. Grab the bullet, and let's move the bullet over to about there. There you go. Now, if I deselect this, you can see that actually looks a whole lot better. Okay? Let's go to the View menu, Fit Page and Window, and there you have it. So that is basically all done and ready to go. And if you want, you can take this and drop it down a line, and now you've got them looking very even. Okay? and looks pretty good so far. Let's bring back the layout. Let's see what we got. My layers, bring back my layout. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to put my subhead down here, and I need to build this section of copy the same way I did before. Go to the View menu, Screen Mode, Normal, and I'm going to create a frame. One more frame over here. Go all the way across, center align it, and I have copy, Wi-Fi in the air. I copy it, and I'm going to Control V, paste it in, and what happened? Let's see, it went in, but I don't think it's showing because it's, okay, yeah, because this stupid drop caps continues to happen here. So what I need to do is I need to go to the paragraph panel, and I need to remove the drop cap. It's no big deal when that happens. You just know how to deal with it. That's all it is, and it's gone now, and I don't need that either. Okay, now I have a character style for this, and that is subhead. There is your subhead, and what it did essentially was it just copied the appearance of this up here. And now all I got to do is literally move that down a tiny bit, and I have my copy matching perfectly my subhead up here. So we're in very good shape, okay? And if I want, I can go to the Object menu, and I can go Frame Content, Fit Frame to Content. There we go. All right, now the last thing I need to do is I need to create my frames to hold my copy. So I put a line there. Don't need one at the bottom because I'll just extend it right down to the bottom of my my margin area. So I'll come back in here with my text tool, and I'll drag myself out 3 frames, just like that, and another one like that, and another one like that. There we go. Get my regular selection tool, click on the first frame. I'm going to link these boxes. I'm going to do that right here with the out port. Click on it, and then I'm going to click in the next frame. It's now linked. You can tell it's linked. Come to the out port and click on the out port. Click on the last frame, and now my 3 frames are linked. I'm going to go to the Object menu. The Type menu. I'm going to go Fill with Placeholder Text, and there we have it. The only problem is that this is going a little too far with itself. So what I want to do is I want to come in here and select that, and I just want to go with internal. I want paragraph style. I want this to be main paragraph. There, and I want the same with this. I want this to be main paragraph. Okay, I only want one. Of these here. And what I can do if I want is, let's see if this will work. I can take this and I can move it up slightly. There we go. And I can move this up slightly. There we go. And now we have something that looks pretty good. Let's go to my Layers panel, hide the tracing layer, and let's go View, Screen Mode, Preview. And there you have it. That is the layout for that page. If you do it that well, I will be very happy, and you should be fine. All right. So again, remember you got copy here. So if you want, you could actually drag this copy down a little bit, and you could make this. You can even change this by doing this, by breaking this back up and making it into a regular line. But then, of course, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to adjust the copy here. All right, make that a little bit deeper. And let's see what's going on with this. There's your problem. All right, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to back this up until it's back here. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. And then I need to copy. I need to get a little more copy here. So I'm going to just grab a bunch of copy it, and then come in here and Control V, paste it in. And there you have it. And if you want, you can take this guy and move this up a line, and now you've got something that's pretty well evened out. Okay? And again, what I'm trying to do here is the best I can, I'm trying to match my layout. Okay? Trying to make it look as much like the layout as I possibly can. That's really all I'm trying to do. So my feeling about this is if you do as well as I did with this, I would be more than happy with you. Okay? So that's it. And you've got to do the fourth page as well. And the fourth page is a variation of the same idea. And you could use the same sort of paragraph and character styles on it as I was using on this. And you should be good to go. All right? So that's it. I'm done with it. Now what I'm going to do is, hold on, let me go here and go. Manage participants. Here we go. It's too big. I want this to be smaller. Oops, I did it again. Yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. That's what I wanted. I wanted it small. All right, so let me move this out of the way. All right, that's that. That's done. Now I'm going to come in. I'm going to show you how to do the Geno's cover. Again, there are videos I did on both of these. I'm just doing them again because I did them last night. I feel very bad about the fact that I, messed up the recording from last night. So I'm spending the time tonight to actually go through these again because these are basically the things that I focused on last night. And I want to make sure that you guys know exactly what's going on. So this original delicious Geno's pizza is basically part of, again, a 4-page piece that you're doing. And it is going to be a menu. So this is the cover for the menu. And I'm going to quickly go back to let's go back to my home. Oh, no, I want to go to assignments. I'm sorry, not home. Go to assignments. And let's go to week 3 assignment. Give me a second. Week 3 assignment, final, right? That's the assessment I want. Yeah. Restaurant menu, pizza 1. Okay, the reason I'm bringing this up is I just want to give you some idea of what they expect you to do here. So you're going to design a 4-page restaurant menu for Geno's Pizza Shack using the logo provided. That's the Geno's logo. You just saw it on my cover. Don't change the color scheme or alter the logo in any way. I did break that rule. I'll explain to you why I did it. And if you want to do it, you can do it. And I'll even show you how to do it. Okay? And the reason I'm saying this is because, well, let me explain it to you when I get to that point. Just keep in mind that they tell you don't change the logo, but I'm saying that one element of the logo I wouldn't mind if you change, depending upon how you design your cover. And that's the important part of this. Through this course up to this point, we have been literally tracing stuff. This is the first time you're going to be asked to use your own creativity. What you're going to do is you're going to design your very own Geno's Pizza cover. And actually, the entire menu will be based on your own design. You won't have models to go by. So you're going to have to design this on your own. So I want you to have fun with it, and I want you to be creative. Don't be crazy, but be creative. You will be graded not only on your use of the software, but on your concept and creativeness. So I'm really looking for you to show me that you are interested and want to be creative with this. And also that you have some mastery of the program so far. So I just wanted to show you this so that you got a sense of it. It's an 8.5 by 11 4-pager. Okay, with that being said, I'm back to Geno's. Okay, so here's my cover. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's go file, open, let's go file new file, new document. All right, I'm going to create a new document. It's print. The number of pages are going to be 4. Okay, facing pages, I'll tell you why, because this is a front and a back, and that's an inside spread. And facing pages means that 2 pages actually face each other. In this case, the spread does. So we need facing pages for this. And the size of this will be letter. So it's 8.5 by 11, and the orientation I want you to do is portrait orientation. The number of columns, I'm just using a 1 column on this right now. You could use 3 or 4 columns, or you could add columns to it later. I'm just doing the cover. As a matter of fact, you might want to make it 3 columns. That's what I'm thinking you might want to do. And you might want to make it like 0.625. Let's make it 1.125. Let's make it 0.12. Let's try 1.2. There we go. And the margins, I've made the margins. I want to make the margins bigger. So I want it to be 0.5. Whoops, going the wrong way. There, 0.25. No, I want, yeah, is it 1/4 inch? 5.5. There, 0.5. 0.5 means a half of an inch. So I'm setting this up to be a half of an inch all around the outside of this thing, and I've got 3 columns. And the other thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you establish a bleed for this. It's very important that you establish a bleed. So the bleed is going to be 0.125, very important. And there you go. So now I got a bleed of 1/8 of an inch, which is a standard bleed size. So I hit OK, and I now have my 4-page when it gets done. There we go. There it is. That's my 4-page. I'm now showing page 1. Here's the center spread 2 and 3, and here's your back page 4. Okay? So I'm going to be working on this page, the first page here. So let's create a menu. So right now, let's go to Gino's cover. This is what I'm going to be creating. So what I did here essentially was I created an area of color. I put a picture in. I put a graphic over here. I inserted the logo. I put some text, a rule, and then I created these 3 little bars, which represents the tricolor for the Italian flag. So that's what I thought I have in mind. Let's go back to my Gino's, and I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to save this as Gino, J-I-N-O_Bill. All right. I think it's J-I-N-O, J-E-N-O, I think it is, J-E-N-O, Gino. I don't know. I don't even know how to spell it. Hit save. Okay, so that's good. We're good. All right. So now let's begin to put this together. So where do I want to start with this? I think probably what I want to do is I want to start at the bottom, and I want to start with the picture. So I'll come over here and I'll grab this element, come over to my guide, to my bleed area, and I'm going to click and I'm going to drag a box. And the box is going to go to all 3 of the bleed areas. It's going to go to the right bleed area, the bottom bleed area, and the left bleed area. And of course, it don't bleed across the top. It just goes situate itself towards the middle of the page. I might make this a little bit shorter, maybe like that. That's probably good. Okay, so File, Place. I'm going to come into my week 3 assignment, week 3 assessment. There we go. And what I'm looking for is, I believe it's pizza number 1. Let's see. Hit open. It is. It's pizza number 1. Now, there are other pictures in there. There's pizza number 2. There's a few other pictures. You can use whatever you want. And to be honest with you, I'm going to show you how I put one together. I don't really expect you to do exactly what I did. You can do whatever you'd like to do. I want you to be creative. If you want to use some aspects of what I did, that's fine. But the bottom line is I'm really looking for you to be creative and to do your own thing. This is just for demonstration purposes so that you have a sense of what to do. So there's my picture. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and the Alt key on my computer. I'm on a PC, and what that's going to do is it's going to make that picture go out like this from the center out. And then I've got it about where I want it. I don't exactly like where those tomatoes end up, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring that down until it's much closer to that frame, and that's probably good right there. So there you go. I got half of my background already built. This is actually a lot simpler than you think it might be. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click and I'm going to create a frame that goes all the way down to meet my picture. It's going to come all the way down to my picture like that. And for the moment, just to get a color in there, I'm going to steal a color off the tomato. There it is. So now I got this color red up there. It is not the color that I want, but it's a color to get me started. So now I have something going. I'm going to come in, I'm going to create a frame, I'm going to place my logo, my Gino's logo. So I'll make a nice big frame in here like this, and I'm going to go File, Place, and I'm going to find a Gino's logo. Right here I have a Gino's logo, EPS. I'm going to hit Open. Okay, so there's my Gino's logo. Now let me just explain this to you a little bit better, because what's going on here is the Gino's logo, the original Gino's logo, is a black. It's essentially a black. Get that centered. There we go. The Gino's logo essentially is a black. It says Bon Appetit in black. Now the problem I have with that is, if you're familiar with the principles of design, one of the principles of design is contrast. And to be totally honest with you, to have the words Gino's or Bon Appetit in black against a red field is not really good contrast. So what I did, just so that you know, is let me open up Adobe Illustrator real quickly, and I'll show you two quick things that I think might help you. And it'll take a minute for this to open up. So this opens up, and they supply you with an Adobe Illustrator file of the Geno's logo. What I did was I opened it up in Illustrator, which I'm about to do for you, and I went in and I selected the text. Here we go. Let me get this open. All right, and let's go. It's not quite there yet. These are big programs, and they take a moment to open up. Give me a second. All right, so there's the Geno. So I think this is it. There, that's the one I want. That's the one I want. Give it a second to open up. Okay, there it is. All right, so here's the deal. Originally, this guy right down here, that was in black. So let me place it in black for you so that you see what I'm talking about. All right, that's it, with no stroke. There. Okay, so this is what your original logo looks like. Now, the problem with this is what I'm trying to explain to you. The Bon Appetit, if you put that black against a red color, the contrast is not really very good. So what I did was I came in and I selected this text, and I just simply went in and changed the color. Let's go to my color panel. Yeah, and I made it white instead of black. Oh, I got the wrong one selected. I wanted the fill and no stroke. There we go. Okay, so that's what I want. I want my text to be white. And the reason I want that text to be white is because it's going to go against a red background. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go File, Save As, and I have a choice. I can either save this thing as a PDF or an EPS. Either one of those two will work as long as you make it transparent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to save as an EPS. I've already done it right there. And I'm going to hit Save, and you'll see what I'm about to do. I'm going to overwrite it. I'm going to leave all this basically alone. Make sure that it's set to transparent. Everything else embed fonts. I don't need to embed the fonts. And I can then hit OK. And it just made an EPS file for me. That's what I did in Illustrator. Now, all I do is come in here, and that is my EPS. I've already put it in. So it is showing. I come over to my links panel, go to the window, and go to links. And let's see what we got here. This Geno logo EPS, you see that there's that little modified double-click to update? What that's telling me is that you just went in and modified this. A minute ago, I just went into Illustrator, and I modified this. I rewrote it. I didn't really change it. I just showed you how I did it. But this program is so smart that it knows when you do these things. And it shows you right here, and it also shows you on your link. So if I double-click that, it's now correct. This is exactly the logo the way I want it, and we're in good shape. Okay? So I just want to show you that because, to be honest with you, once you really start getting serious about doing this work, you need to know how to prepare art the right way. And really, the way to do it is to create this artwork with the printer in mind. And usually you don't want to supply an Adobe Illustrator file for the printer. You want an EPS or a PDF to put artwork in. So that's something you should know about. So let's see what we got to do left. All right, so we've just got to put some text here, a line, and create these two bands. And that's more or less my example. You can do what you want. Oh, and by the way, let's go back to this. I was telling you before that I got this color red here. So what I really want to do with this red is I want to make that the same red as the Geno's. So now that I've got that selected and I have the fill forward, I'm just going to click the eyedropper tool, and I'm going to choose to make it that red from the Geno's and hit OK. So now I have a red. I don't know. That doesn't look like I got it quite right. Let's try it one more time. Not quite right to me. Let's try it there. That's better. Hit OK. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I want the red from the Geno's. Oh, and by the way, this is another thing. Go to the View menu, and I'll go to Display Performance, High Quality Display. And now you can see the artwork looks a lot cleaner. What this thing was set to is go to the View menu. It was set to Typical Display. There's nothing wrong with Typical Display, but it kind of makes things look a little choppy and awful. So if you really want to see what this is going to look like, go to the View menu and go to Display Performance, High Quality, And then if you really want to see what it's going to do, you're going to come in and go to screen mode, and you're going to go to preview. And now you can see what your entire presentation is going to look like. Okay? So go back to view, and let's go to screen mode normal, and let's finish this off. So what I'm looking for is original delicious pizza up here. So I'm just going to create a frame across the top, just like this, and I'm going to center align it. And I don't have this copy, so I'm going to write it ORIGINALDELICIOUS, whoops, PIZZA. And actually, I believe I did that whole thing in caps, but you know what? I don't really even care. I think lowercase and uppercase is fine. So I'm going to make this Myriad Pro, and I'm going to make this 24 point. I think that's probably good. Nope, we got to go bigger, 2045. Let's go to 30. 32. There we go, 32. And we're going to set the color of this to be paper, which is essentially white. And let's change it from regular. Let's change it to semi-bold and see what that looks like. I don't know, that might be too much. Yeah, honestly, I think, to be honest with you, I think I prefer the regular. So really, what you're doing here is you're just designing this. You're coming up with what you think you like, all right, visually. I think I just like the regular. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's fine. All right, so that's done. Now all I got to do is put a border here. Click, hold the Shift key down, and draw a rule out here, something like that. Okay, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to remove the fill because there's no fill. I'm going to change the stroke to paper, and I think the rule size that I want is about 2. So let's go 2, and let's see how that looks. And that looks pretty good. The only thing I'm wondering is, are they aligned properly? So let's go to that, select both of them, and go Object. Where are we at here? I always run into problems. Fitting, where are we at here? Well, you know what? There's an easier way to do this. All I need to do is I need to take this rule and click on the rule and just drag it until it hits center. There we go. That's it. That's the easy way to do it. Okay, so I've done that. Let me take this and hold the Shift key down, and let's move this down just a little tiny bit because I need enough space to put my tricolor here and my tricolor there. Okay? So to do the tricolor, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to create a frame just about like this. A frame just about like that. A little bit bigger. Right there. That's good. Okay. And it's already, let's set it to red. Let's go and set this thing to red. Oh, you know what? Before I do this, let me just do this. Let me set it to red real quickly. There. It's set to red. Now let's do this. Let's come into my swatches. Okay. And I'm going to get rid of a couple of swatches. This swatch right here, let me deselect everything. This swatch is no good to me. I'm going to delete it. This swatch is no good to me. I'm going to delete it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a couple of new swatches. So there's my red swatch. Let me bring my fill forward. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go new color swatch. And I'm going to name it Geno's Red. G-E-N-O. Geno Red. R-E-D. And hit OK. Okay? And it's G-I-N-O, not G-E-N-O, by the way. But that's okay. I can fix that. G-I-N-O. G-I-N-O. There we go. Geno Red. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure nothing's selected. And I'm going to come over here, my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to click on the green. Okay. And you'll see there's my green. I'm going to create a new color swatch, and I'm going to name it G-I-N-O, G-I-N-O, green. G-R-E-E-N, Geno Green, and hit OK. There we go. Real simple. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this, and let me zoom in on this a little bit so you can see it better. I'm going to zoom in, and zoom in. There we go. I can see that somewhat better now. All right, and I'm going to select the frame, and it's already set to Geno Red, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. Oh, one of the things I do have to do, I'm sorry, is I'm going to make this thing go from the side all the way out to the bleed. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to take that border and bring it all the way out to the bleed. In a minute, I'm going to drag this all the way to the top. but I'm not doing it yet, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see in a minute why I'm doing it. I'm going to go edit copy, edit paste in place, and then I'm just going to very carefully move this down until I hit the bottom of the first one right there. Then I'm going to open up my swatches, and I'm going to set this to be paper. So remember, we're doing a tricolor. So I'm going to go edit copy again, edit paste in place, and then I'm going to bring it down until I touch the edge of the white, and I'm going to fill it with Geno green. So there's my tricolor. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to select, let me lock this background, object, lock, selection, and then I'm going to select these three, object, group. I'm going to go edit copy, edit paste in place, and then I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm just going to start bringing that down until I get it right about here. That's probably pretty good. Okay, go to the view menu, fit page and window. Now this tricolor up here, what I want to do is I want to select the top one, and I want to drag that all the way out to the bleed to make sure that I got that right. My battery's running out, so let me put my battery back in. There we go. Okay, that's it. Let's go to the view menu, and let's go to display or screen mode preview. And there is my cover. Now, the only thing I might do with this is I might just walk him up a tiny bit, just about like that. I think that looks just as good as the other one. I mean, it's going to look slightly different, but that's okay because I'm just trying to give you an idea how I did it. Now, that leaves one thing. There's an indicia down here that I want to apply to this, and then I'm done with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the view menu and screen mode normal. Come over here and create a shape right about here, like that, and go File, Place. I'm not sure I remember what the name of this is. This is, what is it? Original Pizza? What is it? Pizza Delivery? What is that thing called? I think it's Original Pizza. Let's try it and see. Hit OK. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You got it. That's it. Okay, there it is. So now what I can do is go to the view menu, screen mode, preview. There you have it. That is my cover. Again, you can create any kind of cover that you want. I just wanted to create a cover for you so that you could get a sense of how I would approach doing it. You need to have the logo on here. They want you to leave the logo alone. I did change this one word, and the reason I did it is look at the background. Look at what that logo is sitting on. It's sitting on a red field. If I had black text on a red field, visually that would not look good. So from a creative standpoint, and again, it asks you to be creative with this, make this thing look good. I happen to know that by just changing the words Bon Appetit to white, it will make this thing look much better, and it'll also make the whole thing come together because I'm using white type right above it. So that's my rationale for doing it. That's the example. I'm done, and I apologize for messing up last night's, but this is basically what I covered last night. There are other videos in here, so you should be in good shape one way or the other, but I will be posting this later on tonight. And I thank you for watching.